Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to Race Reaction Show here. That was a wild night. That was an absolutely wild night there in Foxborough. So let's jump right into this. We're going to talk about 450s first. And we've got a 4-race showdown at this point, which is absolutely wild to say. Because if you'd asked me, say, 3 weeks ago, was anybody even close to touching Jet as far as championship-wise went, I would have told you no. I would have absolutely told you no. But you throw in 2 weeks ago when he gets torpedoed by Barsha in the third main, which causes that whole thing to become a catastrophe. And then you combine with what was an absolutely horrendous start by Jet tonight. And here we are. Now, in all fairness, coming from the Jet guy here, like Jet rode great in that main. That I believe coming around for lap 2, it said he was in 16th place. I know he was 14th off the gate. Coming out of the first corner, and then he was in 16th. So to come from 16th all the way back to 6th, like, that was a good ride, and he made up 6 to 8 seconds on a track that really had no options. Like there were options for lines, but nothing was faster. There was nowhere to make time, and we saw this all night because the race itself was fairly boring. Outside of a couple of passes, there wasn't anything. There wasn't anywhere to make time. Everybody's going to say making an excuse, but I'm just going to point out the fact. You put Jet on a start that's decent up front with Coop, with Kenny, with Chase. He's probably winning that race, but you put him in 16th place, and yeah, I mean, it's just like Tomac. Like, Tomac didn't really go anywhere. Tomac looked great in his heat race, and he didn't go anywhere in that main event because he also had a terrible start and went down. So, not a whole lot you can do with that. Now, how does this parlay? Okay, number one, we've all talked about here. It's dangerous to let Webb kind of hang around like this, and I don't think it's the best plan, but at the same time, if the tracks have somewhat of a speed advantage somewhere per se, Jet's got that all day long over Coop. So there's a high probability, and I had said tonight that Jet really needed to come out, get this win, extend the points lead, and really kind of send a message. Next week, it's do or die. If he lets Coop beat him next week and get the points lead by himself, that's a problem. That's a big problem. As much of a Jet guy as I am and as mentally strong as I think he is and all this kind of good crap, it's a big problem for him to let Coop stick around this long, let alone to let Coop get that points lead if that's what happens next week. Now, if Jet comes out and wins, then I think we maintain status quo of everybody's like, oh man, this kid's so fast, it's hard to beat him. And I think we just ride that into the season. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And realistically, like I said, it was a very boring night. It was very start dependent. The Worx guys did a great job with the track to make it as raceable as it was with all the rain we got yesterday. But man, as much as in practice, and if you go back and watch the live qualifying show, as much as I thought the track would provide good racing because there were going to be options, and there was options, it really didn't. There really wasn't. I mean, it was so hard pack and slick underneath the soft top stuff that you couldn't push it, if that makes sense. When you did, then mistakes were made. It was slick. You would slide out, all sorts of stuff. That would create issues. So it didn't allow for the racing to be as good as it should have been. Now, you put St. Louis dirt in that track, you probably have a completely different race because it probably races really awesome. But for the dirt we had, that kind of silty, rocky, just kind of garbage, which we'll probably see something similar in Denver. It just sucks. It's just terrible. Webb getting the win is fantastic for guys like us because it gives us plenty to talk about. I'm sure me and Justin on the main show this week will absolutely argue for hours over Webb versus Jet. But Webb came to play today. Let's face it, fastest in qualifying, which you don't usually see. Good start in the heat race. Really gave Jet a run for his money in the heat till Jet finally got by him. And then in that main there, dude, he yanked a start and he just led the race. Just absolutely led it. Now, do I think he was the fastest guy? Absolutely not. I think he just got a good start. He pulled a 2-second gap, and he kind of maintained that until Chase got by Kenny there, and then Chase caught him, but Chase couldn't do anything. And that right there is a prime example. Chase was blatantly faster than both Kenny and Coop, but the track didn't allow for passing. I don't know why. I'd have to go back and study it more. I'm sure Justin will have some takes on this, but the track didn't allow for passing at all whatsoever. So that's what made everything really, really kind of tricky tonight. Anderson had a much better ride. Probably saw our video, talking about how he's throwing the season away so he gets fired and can go to Triumph next year. So he had to put in a good ride so they didn't think he was throwing the season. Maybe not. I don't know. Live and wonder. Anyway, and again, Tomac comes back. Looks great in that heat. I mean, absolutely bomb start. Absolutely just fantastic heat race, but then doesn't do any, tucks the front end in the main and then doesn't do anything. So I would love to go on and on and on about stuff, but there just wasn't a lot of stuff like this. There wasn't a lot. That's all I got to say. And you get to the 250 class and there's even less. Deegan gets a start and Deegan wins going away. Now, Deegan looked a lot faster than last time we saw them in Indy before the break here. So he definitely has found some speed training at Sandbox. And again, that's a topic that we'll touch on in the main show and probably have a whole segment about it. In fact, I know we will. It'll be Deegan Danger Zone there. But whatever he found, he definitely looked faster. And this, I think, was a very statement ride for him, which was get a good start, get the lead, and pull away. I mean, he put however many seconds on second place there. And McAdoo rode well. The thing is you could go back technically and put an asterisk next to Deegan's first win there because Faulkner went down. You can't put an asterisk next to this one. He went out, he got a start, and he ran away from those guys. That was all it was, plain and simple. And no one had anything for him. Not McAdoo, not Vial, not anybody. Nobody. Everybody was way behind him. Vial and McAdoo both rode well. Vial basically said this track fucking sucked without saying this track fucking sucked. So take that for what it's worth. He did the whole, track was great, people great, blah, blah, blah. Okay, look, the people in the stadium, fine. The track fucking sucked. For whatever reason, it just doesn't work. And it's probably the makeup of the dirt, but I don't know for sure. So whatever. Anyway, so McAdoo extended his lead by 2 points over Vial because Vial got third, McAdoo got second. Deegan did make up 3 points, but he's still 13 down. But we knew that the big swings for Deegan would not come until the showdown races. So next week at Nashville will be really, really important for him to do the best he can and finish ahead of Cam. And hopefully he can put a couple of these West guys between him and Cam, and then that cuts these points down even farther. Now, do I think Deegan's going to come out and win? Probably not, because I do think the top end of the West is slightly better than the top end of the East, but we'll see how that goes. Anstey had a really solid night, great qualifying, good heat race, so that was really cool. Hymas had a really good heat race and won the heat, so that was really cool. But Hymas just fell apart in the main. 12th place in the main for Hymas is absolutely ridiculous. I know what's going on. That knee issue is way worse than what they're making it out to be, and I wonder if he's going to do outdoors at all. Probably not, because if he does outdoors, then there's no chance he races next year, because he's got to have 3 months to get that knee done, surgery and healed to be able to ride. So if he does outdoors and he does SMX, we don't get done till September. He's not in for surgery till the 1st of October. November, December, January, we'll say. I mean, it doesn't leave him very long to get ready for East Coast next year. So I don't really know what the answer is. I think the answer is he doesn't ride outdoors. Plain and simple. He just sits that out, but we'll have to wait and see. McAdoo had a good night. He rode really well. Like I said, maintained the points lead, extended it over Vial, but Deegan made up some. So that's good, but we'll have to see how the shootout goes, because the shootout, I think, is going to be a big turning point for this championship. Let's see, anything else with 250s I can really think of? Not especially. Again, it was kind of a boring night. There just wasn't a ton that happened here. There wasn't a lot of drama. There wasn't any major incidents. There wasn't a lot of passing. It was just kind of a meh. There was a race, but it was just kind of meh. So comment down below your thoughts on the race. Really appreciate you guys watching these. Hopefully next week we'll have some more interesting stuff to talk about so I can go for a few more minutes, because that would be great. Don't forget to check out all our sponsors. Links in the description down below. And make sure to check out the main show, which will be coming out Tuesday night. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. See ya.